What if I told you that when a woman genuinely likes you, she rarely says it outright, but her behavior begins to shift in quiet, unmistakable ways? Here's the Stoic truth. Attraction is rarely verbal, it's behavioral. She may never say, "I want you," but she'll begin speaking in energy, timing, and presence. Most men miss it because they're too busy reacting. But the Stoic man doesn't chase signals, he reads them calmly and responds with presence, not pressure. Carl Jung said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." And when a woman's emotions begin to stir, her subconscious will act before she's even aware of it. Right now, if you're confused by mixed messages, don't react emotionally. Instead, observe, because when she really likes you, her actions will say it all. If you're ready to recognize the 5 ways women show genuine interest without saying a word like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment. I observe her patterns, not her words. Number 1. The warm, genuine smile when her eyes smile first. It often happens in less than a second. You walk into a room, or she catches your glance unexpectedly, and suddenly, her face lights up. Not just her lips, her eyes. The sides of her eyes crease into soft, natural wrinkles, and for a brief moment, it feels like time pauses. That isn't just a smile, that's a revelation. Stoic philosophy teaches us not to be swept away by appearances, but also not to ignore truth when it's quietly offered. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you understand the quality behind a woman's smile, the layers of thought, emotion, and presence behind it, you gain the clarity to act from calm confidence instead of ego-driven fantasy. Let's break this down. A woman's genuine smile, called the Duchenne smile in psychology, is the one that reaches her eyes. It's involuntary. It can't be faked convincingly. It only appears when the emotion is real. So when she smiles like that upon seeing you, it's not politeness, it's presence. She's not just acknowledging you, she's reacting to you. Something about your presence made her relax, glow, and emotionally lean forward. Contrast this with the polite smile, lips pressed slightly upward, but no sparkle in the eyes. That smile is social, friendly, expected, but it lacks depth. And most men can't tell the difference because they're too eager to believe what they want rather than observe what is. Here's where Stoicism becomes your advantage. Instead of rushing to interpret a smile as proof of attraction, you pause, you observe, you compare. How does she smile at others? How long does it last? Does she smile even before you speak? Does her smile reappear when you're no longer looking at her? These are the signs that matter, not the surface, but the signal beneath it. Many men, driven by insecurity, see every smile as a green light. They assume, she smiled at me, so she must be interested. But real wisdom lies in reading the intention behind it, not the gesture alone. Because when you recognize a true Duchenne smile, you're not just reading her face, you're reading her soul in motion. So what's the insight? The warm, genuine smile is an emotional reflection of safety and desire. If she gives it to you, it means she feels at ease in your presence, or perhaps even excited. That smile, especially if it resurfaces mid-conversation, after you say something small, or even when she's looking away and thinking of something you said, it's confirmation. You're inside her emotional awareness. What do you do with that? You don't chase it. You don't immediately escalate. You receive it like a Stoic receives a gift from the universe, not with greed, but with gratitude. You maintain eye contact briefly, nod, and return the warmth without exaggeration. You let her know, silently, that you saw it, that you appreciated it, but that your peace does not depend on it. That is power. Because in a world where most men react instantly to feminine attention, the one who can hold his ground, smile gently back, and remain composed, that man becomes unforgettable. She'll remember how she smiled without thinking and how you didn't try to capitalize on it. That's rare, and rare is irresistible. Now, comment below. I see the signal, but I move with calm. Number 2, playful greetings and unique hellos, when her words are an invitation. It's not always what she says, it's how she says it. You hear it when she says, "Well, look who it is," or "Hey, trouble," with a smirk and a sparkle in her eye. Maybe she gives you a nickname that no one else has. Maybe her tone lifts slightly, as if she's teasing fate just to get a reaction from you. These greetings aren't casual, they're calculated in the most innocent way. She wants to connect, but doesn't want to seem obvious, so she hides affection behind play. These unique greetings are signals. They reflect emotional comfort, interest, and sometimes even flirtatious tension. The woman who greets you like this is not just saying hello. She's marking territory, subtly claiming space in your attention. And if you're not present enough to notice, you'll miss the invitation behind the humor. According to Stoic wisdom, we are not disturbed by events, but by our interpretation of them. This applies beautifully here. A playful greeting is not just banter, it's often a test, a pulse check. She's observing how you respond. Are you relaxed? Do you mirror the energy? Do you overreact and try too hard? Or do you receive her greeting with calm amusement, letting your grounded presence lead? Seneca wrote, "A good character, when established, is not easily overthrown." When a woman greets you with teasing affection, it means she's testing your frame. She wants to see if you can play without losing yourself. That's where most men slip. They mistake these greetings as invitations to perform. They start joking excessively, trying to outdo her, or immediately turning the conversation toward sexual tension. But this breaks the spell. It tells her you're not grounded, you're reactive. The Stoic man, however, does something else. He smiles not to charm, but to signal presence. He responds with brief, confident warmth. Maybe he mirrors her nickname playfully but doesn't dwell on it. Maybe he counters with subtle wit, but never tries to steal the spotlight. He lets her playful energy land and then carries the interaction forward with ease. In doing so, he becomes the anchor in her emotional sea. So how do you apply this? Start by listening beyond the words. Is her tone lighter with you than with others? Does she invent playful phrases just for you? Does she break formality only in your presence? These are not random. These are acts of emotional investment. A woman will only create private language when she sees you as emotionally distinct. When you receive this kind of greeting, don't turn it into pressure. Don't try to decode every syllable. Just receive it. Breathe into it. Smile like a man who's been here before, not because he's arrogant, but because he's present. You're not confused by her energy, you're aware of it. And that awareness alone builds more intimacy than any pickup line ever could. In time, these small greetings become rituals, inside jokes, emotional shortcuts. And that's where the relationship deepens, not through grand gestures, but through playful details consistently exchanged with presence. Now, comment below. I don't perform, I respond with presence. Number 3, when her eyes hold yours. The power of prolonged eye contact. There's a moment between two people that words can't touch. It's silent, electric, and unmistakable. Her eyes find yours and they stay, not for a second, not by accident, but deliberately. It's a hold, not a glance, a soft invitation into her emotional world. And for the man who knows how to receive it, this moment reveals more than any conversation could. Eye contact is one of the most primal, powerful indicators of attraction. When a woman maintains prolonged eye contact, especially if it's paired with a gentle smile or a subtle softening of her expression, she's not just looking at you, she's seeing you, and she wants to be seen in return. Psychologists refer to something called the triangle gaze, her eyes shifting between yours and then dropping briefly to your lips. It's subconscious, instinctive, and when it happens, it often signals a deepening of both physical and emotional interest. It's as if her body is saying, "I'm drawn to you," even when her words stay casual. From a Stoic perspective, this is where restraint becomes power. The immature man sees that gaze and immediately reacts. He leans in too soon, breaks the moment with nervous laughter, or rushes to speak. But the Stoic man holds. He meets her eyes, steady and still, not as a tactic but as an act of presence. He is not overwhelmed by the moment, he grounds it. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. This includes eye contact. When she looks at you, don't let your thoughts spiral. Don't turn the moment into fantasy. Observe. Be still. Let her feel that you are not rattled by attention. You're anchored by clarity. This kind of eye contact also builds something many men overlook: emotional safety. When you hold her gaze without trying to dominate, seduce, or escape it, you signal maturity. You tell her, I see you and I'm not afraid to be seen. That's rare, and that's exactly what makes it magnetic. Here's how to apply it. First, meet her eyes naturally. Don't force intensity. Don't stare like a statue. Relax your body. Breathe evenly. When her eyes meet yours, hold it for a moment longer than feels comfortable, then let go. Smile gently. Speak slowly. That pause you just held, it said more than any compliment ever could. Second, pay attention to how her gaze changes with you versus others. Is her eye contact longer, softer, more engaged? Does she hold your gaze when you speak or when she's silent? These are the signs of emotional curiosity. She wants to know you, not just your words, but your essence. And finally, let eye contact guide, not rush. You don't have to act on it immediately. Often, the deepest connections are built through repeated, small moments of shared gaze, not a single, grand gesture. In love, as in Stoicism, the most powerful actions are the quietest. Now, speak out and comment below. I meet her eyes not to impress, but to connect. Number 4. When she reaches first, the language of intentional touch. You're talking, laughing, maybe just walking side by side, and then it happens, a subtle, intentional gesture. She taps your arm while making a point. Her fingers rest on your forearm a second too long. She leans in with a playful shoulder nudge, or embraces you with a hug that lingers just a heartbeat longer than it should. These aren't accidents. They are signals, small, powerful indicators that she feels safe around you and wants to get closer. Touch, when initiated by a woman, carries a weight that few men fully understand. It's filtered through layers of intuition, emotional readiness, and trust. When she reaches out first, even in the smallest way, she's communicating something deeper than words. I feel connected to you. From a Stoic point of view, this is a moment not to be exaggerated but deeply respected. Epictetus teaches us that we own only our thoughts and actions, not the behavior of others. So when a woman chooses to touch you, it is not something you chase or demand. It is something you receive with calm gratitude. Unfortunately, most men do the opposite. They take a single moment of touch as permission to escalate. They misread comfort as invitation, and they move too quickly. But the Stoic man understands a higher game. Connection is not rushed, it is honored. If she touches you, your response says everything about your character. Here's what makes these touches meaningful. Women are selective with physical contact, especially early in a connection. They are wired for safety first, intimacy second. So when she breaks the touch barrier, she's telling you, I trust you with a part of me. It may be light and playful, but it's deliberate. And if she keeps finding small reasons to touch you, brushing lint from your shirt, guiding your arm, touching your hand during laughter, that's emotional gravity at work. How do you respond stoically? First, slow down. Feel it without needing to act on it. Let the moment land. Return eye contact. Smile softly. Let her see that you're aware but not over-eager. This is presence. You don't reward her touch with performance. You anchor it with awareness. Second, look for context. Does she touch you when no one else is around, or does she repeat the gesture even in a group setting? Is her touch tied to emotion, laughter, softness, vulnerability, or is it guarded? These nuances tell you not just that she's attracted, but how deeply. Finally, don't force reciprocity. Touch back only when it aligns with your calm. Respectful energy, not when you feel entitled. Maybe you rest your hand gently over hers, or guide her through a door with a steady palm. The Stoic touch is always intentional, never impulsive. Because when you respond to her physical signal with emotional steadiness, she feels something rare, safe, and desired at the same time. That's the balance most men can't strike, but the Stoic man lives there between restraint and warmth. So the next time she reaches out, don't rush to define it. Receive it, let it echo, and let her realize you're the one man who doesn't fumble something sacred. Now, comment below. I don't react to touch, I respond with presence. Number 5. When she gets nervous, the hidden power of vulnerable energy. You say hello, her smile appears, but it's followed by something else, an unexpected shift. She fidgets slightly, maybe plays with her hair. Her eyes dart, then return to yours. Her voice wavers, or she stumbles over a word or two. You notice a sudden seriousness or blush on her face. This isn't awkwardness, it's impact. She's not confused. She's feeling something, and it's you. While many men chase the obvious signs of attraction, laughter, flirty texts, bold compliments they often overlook. What may be the most honest signal of all, subtle nervousness, because when a woman truly likes you, something inside her becomes exposed. Her need to get it right rises. Her body and mind, suddenly aware of your presence, react not with strategy, but with sincerity. According to Stoic teaching, we must see things as they are, not as we wish them to be. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your estimate of it." In attraction, the same principle applies. Her nervousness is not weakness, it's a mirror of her emotional investment. And the wise man reads it, not with judgment or ego, but with reverence. Why does she get nervous? Because her emotional filters are lowered. She's not sure how you perceive her, and that uncertainty makes her vulnerable. But it also reveals how much your presence matters to her. She might talk faster, she might break eye contact, then return it. Her hand might shake slightly when passing you something. These are not signs to be pitied or mocked. They are beautiful signals of authenticity, and they are far harder to fake than confidence. The immature man might see these signs and feel awkward himself, or worse, exploit them to inflate his own ego. But the Stoic man does the opposite. He slows down, he creates space, he anchors the moment with calm, letting her know, silently, that she doesn't need to perform around him. So how do you respond? First, breathe. Literally, your calmness regulates her tension. If you stay grounded, she will match your frequency. You're not just reacting to her emotions, you're leading them with presence. Second, do not highlight her nervousness. Don't say, "You're blushing," or "Why are you so quiet?" That puts pressure on her and breaks the trust she was about to give. Instead, offer her emotional safety. Smile warmly. Ask a thoughtful question. Say her name slowly. Let her know that you see her, but you aren't scrutinizing her. Third, understand that nervousness is often a gateway to connection. When she begins to feel safe in your presence, because you didn't judge her or try to manipulate her energy, she opens. You become the man who doesn't just attract her surface, but unlocks her depth. This is the magic most men never experience. Not because it isn't there, but because they rush past it. They miss the tremble in her voice. They miss the meaning in the silence. The Stoic man sees it all and stays. Because when a woman shows you her nerves, she's not breaking, she's trusting. Now, speak out and comment below. I stay grounded so she can feel safe opening up. Number 6, use Stoic wisdom to build authentic connection. In a world filled with noise, where most men react to fleeting attention and misread superficial gestures, the Stoic man plays a deeper game. He's not looking for approval, he's reading energy. And when it comes to attraction, The way a woman greets you often tells more truth than 1,000 words exchanged in a crowded conversation. This is why mastering the subtle signals of greetings, the warm, genuine smile, the playful or unique hello, prolonged eye contact, intentional touch, and soft signs of nervousness isn't just about decoding romance. It's about cultivating presence. Each of these signs is a window into her emotional world, and your ability to notice them without clinging to them determines the depth of connection you create. Stoicism doesn't teach us to be cold. It teaches us to be clear, to see things as they are, not as we hope or fear them to be. A smile that reaches her eyes is a signal of joy, a playful nickname, a door to private connection, a gaze held longer than social norms allow, an invitation into trust. When she touches first, she is testing your calm. When she fumbles her words, she's showing her heart without meaning to. But none of these matter. None of them work if you lack one thing: inner stillness. The Stoic man doesn't chase validation. He doesn't leap at affection like a starving animal. He observes, he honors, he leads with steadiness. He knows that the point of reading her signals is not to manipulate her, but to meet her, to respond in a way that makes her feel safer, more seen, and more drawn to who he really is, not what he tries to be. So what happens when you understand these greetings through a Stoic lens? You act with intention. If her smile lights up at your arrival, you hold her gaze and return the warmth, no need to impress. If she greets you with playful teasing, you lean into it gently, never losing your frame. If her eyes lock with yours, you don't avert your gaze, you settle into it. If she reaches out, you let her hand rest without pulling it closer. If she's nervous, you don't rescue her with words. You slow your energy and let her calm rise to match yours. This is the art of attraction, not rooted in tactics, but in presence. And here's the truth. Women aren't drawn to perfection. They're drawn to perception, to a man who sees without judging, who leads without forcing, who responds without losing himself. That's why the Stoic man doesn't have to prove anything. He becomes the man she feels more herself around. When you become this kind of man, connection becomes effortless, because you're not just meeting her behaviors, you're meeting her energy. And energy, unlike charm, cannot be faked. Now, comment below. I don't chase connection, I create it with calm. You came here searching for signs she likes you. Now you know real interest doesn't shout, it shows. When she makes excuses to be near, asks deep, personal questions, mirrors your energy or mood, remembers small details about you, gets a little nervous, then stays anyway. She's not playing games. She's revealing emotional investment subtly, carefully, and unconsciously. The Stoic man doesn't need a confession. He doesn't push for validation. He simply sees the signals and responds with grounded energy. You don't chase a woman who shows signs like this. You meet her with stillness, clarity, and intention, and you let her feel what it's like to want a man who doesn't flinch. If you're ready to attract through calm presence instead of performance, like this video, subscribe, and comment. Her actions speak. I listen in silence. Stay grounded. Stay observant. Because the man who listens with stillness always hears what others miss.